Good morning students. Today we are going to see the norma basalis. It is very important and a very difficult to understand also. So what is the definition of the norma basalis? When the skull is studied from the inferior aspect, that we call as a norma basalis. It is a definition. The next is the boundaries of the norma basalis. See here, same skull. Anteriorly, boundaries of the norma basalis. Anteriorly by the 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 incisor teeth. Anterior. Posteriorly here, we have the nuchal line is present. Superior nuchal line. Anterior and the posterior. Then next each side, rest of the teeth, that is the canines, premolars and the molars, and zygomatic arch and the mastoid process of the temporal bone. These are the boundaries of norma basalis. Next step is the subdivisions. This norma basalis we are studying in the 3 divisions. For our convenience purpose, we are divided into the 3 divisions. Where is the alveolar arch, and this part is called as a hard palate. This is the hard palate. These two are including in the anterior part of the norma basalis. And next, one imaginary line that passes in front of the foramina magnum. This is the foramina magnum. Largest foramina in the norma basalis is the foramina magnum. One imaginary line passing in front of the foramina magnum that divides the middle part and the posterior part. Anterior part is the alveolar arch and the hard palate. And this area is the middle palate, so middle part of the norma basalis, and this is called the posterior part of the norma basalis, divided by the one imaginary line, that imaginary line passing in front of the foramina magnum. So this is about the subdivisions of the norma basalis. First we talk about the anterior part. In this anterior part, posterior border of the hard palate. This is the hard palate. This completely is called a hard palate. So this boundary is the posterior border. This is the posterior border of the hard palate. It is the junction between the anterior part and the middle part. Clear? In the posterior border, there is our bony projection is present. That bony projection name is called as the posterior nasal spine. Same we are seeing in the norma frontalis. Here is a small projection is present. This is called an anterior nasal spine. That is the posterior nasal spine. In the spine, one musculus uvula is attached. The small tongue is present inside. The musculus uvula attached to the posterior nasal spine. Then next, alveolar arch. This is called an alveolar arch. The alveolar arch is contained in the sockets. Those sockets are again is 2 types. One is a single socket, and second one is called as 3 sockets. Means it is divided. One socket divided into the 3 parts. Single sockets for the incisors, canines, and the premolars. The socket is divided into the 3 by the septars for the molar teeth. This is about the alveolar arch. Alveolar arch. The next point is the bones contributing of the hard palate. How this hard palate is formed? This completely is called a hard palate. How it is formed? Anterior 2/3 part and posterior 1/3 part. Anterior 2/3 part is formed by the palatine process of maxilla. This is the maxilla. This maxilla going to the inner side, that forms the palatine hard palate. Palatine process of the maxilla forms the anterior 2/3 part. Posterior 1/3 part formed by the horizontal plate. This is the horizontal plate. Horizontal plate of the palatine bone. So hard palate is formed by the two bones are involved here. One is called the maxilla, palatine process of the maxilla. Second, horizontal plate of the palate bone. So this is about the formation. Bones contributing in the hard palate. Then next, cruciform sutures. Here we are seeing the three sutures. One suture between the two maxillas, intermaxillary suture, and one suture between the palatines, interpalatine suture, and one more suture between the maxilla and the palate, palato-maxillary suture. How many sutures we have? Totally 3 cruciform sutures. The first one between the two maxillas. This is the maxilla and this one is the maxilla. Intermaxillary suture. And the second one between the palate bone. Interpalatine suture. And the third suture between the palate and the maxilla. That is called palato-maxillary suture. So these are the sutures of the anterior part of Norma basalis. Let's next, incisive fossa. See here, these are the incisor teeth. Here is the incisive fossa is present above the incisor teeth. Same way here, inner side also, where the incisors are present 1, 2, 3, 4. In this place we have the fossa is present. That fossa name is called as the incisive fossa. In this incisive fossa, two foraminers. Here is one foramina and second foramina. This foramina name is called incisive foraminas. These two foraminas leads and open into the one foramina. These both are the opening to the one foramina. That foramina name is called as incisive foramina. First is the incisive fossa. The fossa contains the two foraminas. Those foraminas name is called incisive foraminas. Those two foraminas are opening into the as a forms a one single foramina. That foramina name is called incisive foramina. In this incisive foramina, greater palatine vessels, and the nasopalatine nerve is passing through this foramina. Then next, this suture name is called as a palato-maxillary suture. Just behind this suture in the palate bone, here is the one foramina is present. This foramina name is called as a greater palatine foramina. Greater palatine foramina present just behind the palato-maxillary suture. In this foramina, vessels are passes. Those vessels name is called as the greater palatine vessels. From here to here, one groove is present. This is called palatine groove. So greater palatine vessel starts from the in this foramina, then it is going towards the incisive foramina. So that's why incisive foramina also contain the greater palatine vessels. Next, here this is called an extension part. See, this is the extension part. The name is called as a pyramidal process of palatine bone. What is the name? The name is a pyramidal process of the palatine bone. In this bone, it contains 2 to 3 small foraminas. These foraminas name is called as a lesser palatine foraminas. In this lesser palatine foraminas, lesser palatine nerve and the vessels are passes. Greater is a greater, lesser is a lesser. Clear? Then next, in this place one crust is present like this. This crust name is called as a palatine crust. The palatine crust is a bony curved ridge. In this ridge attachment is the palatine aponeurosis is attached. One curved ridge is present, that curved ridge name is called a palatine crust. In this palatine crust, palatine aponeurosis is attached. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4. For example, this is alveolar arch. Here these 4 bones are separated. So 4 incisors are separated. That part name is called as premaxilla. Premaxilla. Sir, what is the premaxilla? Where we are seeing? Like in monkeys. Monkeys, these 4 teeth are coming outside. So it is separate bone in the monkeys. That bone name is called as premaxillary bone. It is holding the 4 incisor teeth. So we are seeing the greater palatine foramina, lesser palatine foramina, palatine crust and the premaxilla. This is about the anterior part of the norma basalis. Now next is the medial part of the norma basalis. So which is the part behind the alveolar arch and the heart palate, that part we call as a, and in front of the foramen magnum, that part we call as a middle part of the norma basalis. So here again this norma, middle part of the norma basalis divided into the medial area and the lateral area. This is the part we are seeing this part name is called as the medial area and this part is the lateral area. So in this medial area we are seeing the posterior nasal apertures. These are the anterior nasal apertures. These are the posterior nasal apertures. 1, 2. 2 posterior nasal apertures are present. These are called as choana, posterior nasal choana. Other name. And next, posterior border of the ala of femur. These 2 nasal apertures are separated by the bone. These 2 are the posterior nasal apertures. These 2 apertures is separated by the one bone. That bone name is called as a femur bone. So this is called a posterior border of the femur. That femur in the above it is a split. See here diagram. This is the femur bone. Above it is a split and forms the ala of the femur bone. The third one is called the ala of femur. This ala of femur, above it is attached with the sphenoid bone. Clear? Then next, sir, here of the femur. Clear? And this is the one opening, nasal opening, and this is second nasal opening. This opening is boundary. It is bounded by the one more bone, the blue color one. This is called a palatine bone. This palatine bone here, the name is changing. The name in the palatine bone name here, it is called a process. This part, this process name, we call as a sphenoidal process of the palate. Only this part, sphenoidal process of the palate. And here 2 orange color is there. These are called pterygoid plates. The name is the pterygoid. So the pterygoid plate again it is going to give forms of one process. This process name is called as the vaginal process. Vaginal process of pterygoid bone. Remember, I again repeat it here. First is the ala of femur, posterior border of the femur. It is split from the ala of femur. 1 point. This is one opening, second opening, posterior nasal apertures. This aperture is bounded by the palate bone. This palate bone, above it is forms of a process. That process name is called as sphenoidal process of the palate bone. And this orange color is the two plates, pterygoid plates. The pterygoid plate also above it forms one more process. That process name is called vaginal process of the pterygoid bone. Here two foraminas. One foramina name is called as a umero-vaginal canal, and second is the palato-vaginal canal. Umero-vaginal. This is umar bone. Allow the umar. And this is called a vaginal process. Between the umar and the vaginal, this canal name is called as a umero-vaginal canal. Then next see, palato-vaginal canal. This is the palatine bone, and this is the vaginal process of the pterygoid. In between the foramina name, in between the canal name is called as a palato-vaginal canal. So what are structures are passing here and here? Umero-vaginal canal, the pharyngeal nerve and the vessels are passes, and palato-vaginal canal, the third part of the maxillary artery and the pterygopalatine ganglion is passes through these canals. So this is about the our part in the median area. Two openings, and the umar, and it is a split end for it is formed with the sphenoid bone. So next comes to the rest of the median area. This is the rest of the median area. This is half of the part. The next part is called as the border bar of bone. Border bar of bone behind the ala. So here is again now ala of the umar bone. Behind that ala, this area name is called the border bar of behind the ala. Half of the bone is formed by the sphenoid, and half of the bone is formed by the occipital. So this completely bone name is called the basisphenoid and basi-occipital bone. Means formed by the base of the sphenoid and base of the occipital bone. That's why name is called a basisphenoid and basi-occipital bone. So in this one, in front of the foramina magnum, it is extending up to the foramina magnum. In front of the foramina magnum, we are seeing the two tubercles. This tubercle's name is called a pharyngeal tubercles. Here I am not explaining the attachment. Here the three attachments are present, but I am not explaining the attachment here. So just only I am giving the ostomic part. So these are called as the pharyngeal tubercles. Then next is the lateral area. This is completely called as the lateral area. This one, this part, entire part is the lateral. First we are seeing the lateral area. Pterygoid process. Now I am explaining directly in the bone only pterygoid process. See, this is the entire bone name is called as the pterygoid process. So this pterygoid process having the two bony plates. Actually, this pterygoid process present behind the alveolar arch. So two plates are present. One is called a medial pterygoid plate, and second one is called a lateral pterygoid plate. These two plates is anteriorly. This is toward the anterior side. Anterior, these two plates are enclosed, forms a fossa. That fossa name is called the pterygoid fossa. So these pterygoid fossa, inferiorly it is incomplete. See, this is incomplete. Forms a one fissure. This fissure name is called pterygoid fissure. So in this pterygoid plate, this is the lateral pterygoid plate and the medial pterygoid plate. In the lateral pterygoid plate, lateral surface, medial surface. Medial pterygoid plate, lateral surface, medial surface. So lateral pterygoid plate, lateral surface. See properly, lateral pterygoid plate, lateral surface. It providing the attachment of one muscle that is called as the lateral pterygoid. And here medial pterygoid is attached. Same in this part. Here in the medial pterygoid plate, here is the one muscle is attached that is called tensor palatine muscle. And this border, this surface forms the border of the posterior nasal opening. posterior nasal apertures. Now let's we talk about the only medial pterygoid plate. This is a medial pterygoid plate. The medial pterygoid plate in the above, in the upper part, it is a split. The medial pterygoid plate in the upper part, it is split and encloses, forms one fossa. Here a pen mark is there. That fossa name is called as scaphoid fossa. Clear? And just above the our medial pterygoid plate, upper end, here is forms a small tubercle. That bony tubercle name is called pterygoid tubercles. And the lower part, same this pterygoid plate, medial pterygoid plate, lower part here, this is a bony projection is present. The tooth-like projection is present. That tooth-like projection name is called pterygoid hamillus. So this is about the only medial pterygoid plate. Above it is a split, encloses forms the scaphoid fossa, and above we show the small tubercle. That tubercle name is called pterygoid tubercle, and below part here one bony projection, hook-like projection is present. That projection name is called pterygoid hamillus. Then next we come to about the. So this is about the pterygoid plates, lateral pterygoid plate and the medial pterygoid plate. In between we have the pterygoid fossa. Now next come to this part. Name is called as the infratemporal surface of the greater wing of the sphenoid. This is the area. I will show you practically also this area. So this is a pentagonal in shape, and it contains the 4 foraminers. Here is only 2 foraminers present, but 2 more foraminers present. Those are the innominate foraminers. And in this part, one muscle is like attached. That is called the lateral pterygoid muscle. Clear? And where is this infratemporal part, ending of this part, we are showing small bony projection. The bony projection name is called the spine of sphenoid. And this part laterally ends with one crust. The crust name is called the infratemporal crust. So this is an area we call as a infratemporal surface. This is a temporal surface, and this part is called an infratemporal surface. So part is present here. That's why it's called an infratemporal surface of the greater wing of sphenoid bone. It is a pentagonal in shape. One muscle get attached, that is called a medial pterygoid muscle. Okay, and here 4 foraminers are present. 4 foraminers are present, but I am drawing here only 2 foraminers. So rest of the 2 are the innominate foramen. It is not present regularly. So that's why I draw only 2. Where this pentagonal shape is ending point, is showing a small bony projection. That projection name is called as spine of sphenoid. Laterally, this pentagonal shape is ended with one crust. The crust name is called the crust of the sphenoid. Clear? So this is about the infratemporal surface of the sphenoid. Next come to about the 4 foraminers I will explain. Foramina ovale, foramina spinosum, foramina bassalis, foramina innominate. That is innominate, characteris innominate. First, this is called as foramina ovale. In this foramina ovale, 4 structures are passes. Those structures name A, L, E. M means mandibular nerve. A means accessory meningeal artery. L, lesser petrosal nerve. E, emissary vein. So, in the examination point of view, either as the externals or the internals, they are asked about all the foraminers, structure passing through all the foraminers. Remember it. Okay? So, this is about the foramina ovale. Then next we have the foramina spinosum. Why we call it spinosum? Because it is near to the spine of the sphenoid. This foramina name is called as foramina spinosum. Here 3 structures are present. That is the M. Middle meningeal artery, nervus spinosus, and middle meningeal vein. So these 3 structures passing into the foramina spinosum. And here foramina versalis is there. It is not regularly present. If it is present, it is present between the pterygoid fossa and the foramina ovale. That is the foramina versalis. Inconstant foramina. If it is present, it passing through the emissary vein. One more is there, canaculus innominate. Innominate means there is no name. Canaculus means the opening. It present between the foramina ovale and the foramina spinosum. Here it is. It is also not regularly present. If it is present, one nerve is passing, that is called a lesser petrosal nerve. Lastly, we have the one bony projection. That projection name is called a spino-sphenoid bone. Medially to the sphenoid and lateral to the sphenoid. Medial to sphenoid one canal is there. See. This name is called the eustachian tube. The auditory tube is present in the ear. The name is called as sulcus tubae. Medially to the spinal sphenoid, we are having the sulcus tubae is present. In the sulcus tubae, eustachian tube or auditory tube is present. Laterally to here, one nerve is passing. That nerve name is called as the auriculotemporal nerve. One ligament from here to the attached to the mandible, spinomandibular ligament. Extending from the sphenoid process to the mandible, spinomandibular ligament. And again we have the, in this part also some foraminas are present in the middle part of the norma basalis, that we will be covered in the next class. Rest of the middle part and the posterior part we will cover in the next class. Now practically we are seeing the norma basalis. When the skull we are observed from the inferior aspect, that we call as the norma basalis. The norma basalis bound is anteriorly by the 4 incisor teeth, posteriorly by the here superior nuchal line, and either side by the rest of the teeth along with the zygomatic arch and posterior root of the zygoma and mastoid part of the temporal bone. This is either side boundaries of the norma basalis. For the norma basalis, for our convenience purpose, we are divided into the 3 parts, where it is alveolar arch and this hard palate is the anterior part, and one imaginary line passing anteriorly to the foramina magnum. It is divided the middle area and the posterior area. These are 3 divisions: anterior division, and behind the foramina magnum posterior division, and in between this area is called as the middle part of the norma basalis. Now first we are seeing the anterior part. Now in the anterior part, first we are seeing the posterior border of the hard palate. This is the border, the posterior border of the hard palate. In this posterior border, small bony projection is present here. The small bony projection name we call as the posterior nasal spine. Here is the one muscular attachment is present, that is called the musculus part. Anterior part we have in the alveolar arch and the hard palate. The alveolar arch is contain the sockets for the all incisor teeth, canines and premolars. 3 sockets for the molar. 3 sockets is present in the here, divided sockets and 3 for the molar teeth. And the hard palate is formed by the 2 bones. This bone name is called the maxilla, maxillary palatine process of the maxilla, and this is called a horizontal part of the palate bone. It forms a 2/3 and it forms a 1/3 part. And in this area it's showing the small depression. All are the small depression for the palatine glands. Small palatine glands are present here. Now next we are seeing the sutures. 3 cruciform sutures are present. First we have suture is called the intermaxillary suture between the 2 maxilla bones, and this suture is called interpalatine suture between the 2 palatine bones. And another suture, third suture is called a palatomaxillary suture between the palate bone and the palatomaxillary suture. 3 cruciform sutures are present. And anteriorly, these 4 bones are the incisor bones. Here is the one fossa is present. The fossa initially we call it the incisive fossa. This incisive fossa foramina is present. That foramina name is called the incisive foramina. In this incisive foramina, greater palatine vessels and the nasopalatine nerve are the passes. The next is the behind the palatomaxillary suture there is a one foramina is present. This foramina name is called a greater palatine foramina. In this greater palatine foramina, greater palatine nerves and the vessels are present. Behind this greater palatine foramina, this part name is called a pyramidal process. In this pyramidal process, another 2 to 3 foraminas are present. Those foraminas name is called as a lesser palatine foraminas. In this lesser palatine foraminas, lesser palatine nerves and the vessels are passes. From this greater palatine foramina to the incisive foramina, there is a one groove is present. In this groove, greater palatine vessels are passes. And next, one crust you can see here. The bony curve ridges. This is called the crust, palatine crust. Nothing else. Here is the palatine aponeurosis is attached. And in the animals, these 4 bones, 4 teeth, incisor teeth is present in the separate bone that we call the pre-maxilla. Especially we are seeing in the monkeys. So this is about the anterior part of the norma basalis. Now let's we talk about the middle part of the norma basalis. In this middle part of the norma basalis, first we are seeing about these 2 are the openings. Name is called the posterior nasal apertures. These are the divided by the one bone. The bone name is called the humor bone, and the border is called the posterior border of the humor. Posterior border of the humor. The posterior border of the humor, in the above it is a split. See, above it is a split, and we call as this is called ala of the humor bone. These ala of the humor fit into the sphenoid bone above. And here 2 foraminas are present. Here is the one small foramina and this is second foramina. I already explained in the theoretically this is 1 and this is second foramina. 1 and the 2. The foramina name is called as anterior is called as the humerovaginal and the posterior side we call the palatovaginal canals. Now in the norma basalis, behind the posterior nasal or ala, we are seeing the one more bony part. The bony part name is called the border bar of bone behind the ala. It is formed by the sphenoid bone and along with the occipital bone. That's why the name we call, other name is called a basi-sphenoid and the basi-occipital. It is extending up to the foramina magnum. When we feel here in this place, we are seeing the small tubercles. That tubercles name is called a pharyngeal tubercles. In the pharyngeal tubercle, superior constrictor muscles are attached and along with the lesser capitis posterior minor, rectus capitis posterior major is attached. This we will be discussing in the upcoming classes. Don't worry about the attachments. This is about the median area. Now come to about the lateral side. This is completely is called a lateral area. Now in the lateral area, see properly. This completely bone name is called the pterygoid process. This pterygoid process is containing the 2 plates, lateral bony, lateral pterygoid plate, medial pterygoid plate. These 2 pterygoid plates is united in the anteriorly forms the pterygoid fossa. This is a pterygoid fossa. This pterygoid fossa, these 2 plates are ununited in the inferiorly, incompletely inferiorly forms a fissure. This is the fissure. The fissure name is called a pterygoid fissure. So come to about this lateral plate having the lateral surface and the medial surface. Medial plate having the medial surface, lateral surface. Here lateral pterygoid is attached. Here medial pterygoid is attached. In this place tensor palatine villi muscle attached, and this is forms the boundary of the posterior nasal openings. When we come to about the medial plate, only medial plate. This is a medial plate. The medial plate in the upper part, it is splits. See, this is split and enclose and forms a one fossa. This is called as scaphoid fossa. And if the pin mark is there, this is scaphoid fossa. Above here, small bony tubercle is present. That tubercle means pterygoid tubercle. And the lower end of medial pterygoid here forms a small hook is present. That is called hook of the the name is called pterygoid hamillus. In the lower part of the medial pterygoid plate, there is a hook is present. That hook name is called a pterygoid hamillus. Now, this is the area. The area name is called as a infratemporal surface of the greater wing of the sphenoid bone. In this area, infratemporal surface is the pentagonal in shape, laterally by the crust, infratemporal crust, posteriorly by the small bony projection. We can see very clearly, this is the bony projection. This one is called as a spine of sphenoid. And in this one, we have the four foramina is present. This foramina name is called a foramina ovale, and this is a foramina spinosum. Rest of the two foraminas are the innominate foraminas. First, we are seeing about the foramina ovale, the oval shape. And what are structures are passing here? Male structures, mandibular nerve, accessory meningeal artery, lesser petrosal nerve, and the emissary vein. These are passing through this foramina, and this is called as a foramina spinosum. In this spinosum, three structures are processed: middle meningeal artery, nervus spinosus, and middle meningeal vein. If in case there is a foramina is present between the foramina ovale and the pterygoid process, here in this place one foramina is present. It is occasionally present. That's why the name infrequently present. The name of the foramina is called as a foramina vessalis. If it is present, one vein is passes, that is called an emissary vein. And behind the foramina spinosum, this is a foramina spinosum. Behind this foramina spinosum and foramina ovale, between the foramina ovale and the foramina spinosum, sometimes in this place also one more foramina is present. That foramina name is called as a canaculus innominate. In this canaculus innominate, one nerve is passed, that is called a lesser petrosal nerve. Lastly, the bony projection, the projection name is called as a spine of sphenoid. Lateral side, in this place, one nerve is passes, auriculotemporal nerve, and middle part here, see, this is the tube. The tube name is called sulcus tubae. In the sulcus tubae, eustachian tube is present. Rest of the norma basalis middle part, and along with the posterior part we are seeing in our next upcoming class. Thank you so much. Have you any doubt? Ask me.